What's going on, everybody? It's Tuesday night. You know what that means. It's time for Around the Ropes Radio Show. Guys, I'm running solo right now till Jay gets here, but hope everybody's doing well. I know we're in Valentine's Day week, so definitely, guys, don't, hopefully everyone has a good Valentine's Day coming up this weekend. And so much more. Guys, also follow us on all social media. Subscribe to us on YouTube. I know we haven't been on Facebook in a while, but we will get back onto Facebook soon. Hopefully by next week we should be back on Facebook. But guys, we have a lot to get to right now, and this is one thing I love with doing a wrestling show like this. There's never an off season, and yes, Crash Zero, yes, we are live now. But guys, if you want to leave your comments, you definitely can leave them down there. Well, that's your way of getting in touch with us and let us know how you guys are doing. David from across the pond is checking us out. David, it's always great to see you, my friend. An original fan of the show. I've said this countless amount of times. The guy is dedicated. But before we get into what's going on in the world of world of wrestling right now, yes, this is a wrestling show. I just want to send a quick congratulations out to the Seattle Seahawks on winning the Super Bowl this past Sunday. Great performance. I mean, I don't think we've seen a more dominant defense like that in years. I mean, honestly, I thought it was a snooze fest, but again, we're not a sports show. We're a wrestling show. If you want sports coverage, tune in tomorrow night to 86 After Dark. They will have all of your fallout from the Super Bowl. But definitely want to give the Seahawks congratulations on winning the Super Bowl and avenging their loss and finishing their story, against New England. And I know one of the big things everybody was talking about is the halftime show. That seems to have been the big topic, so to speak. And I don't want to get into the political side of things. If you watch it, you don't watch it, because that's not why we're here. But they gave very subtle hints to a future match happening. And it's one that I think a lot of people would love to see. I love WWE. I'm not a fan of AEW or Impact. I'm glad you found us. We definitely talk WWE, and we do talk. I mean, we'll try to start talking some New Japan as well. But thank you for finding us. I appreciate that. But as far as the WWE, there's always been this crossover appeal, I guess is the best way you can phrase it. And the crossover appeal, I think you can always have is Logan Paul and Bad Bunny. These are two guys who, we've always seen celebrities, in and out throughout the years, coming to WWE in one way, shape, or form, and you can tell they're only there for the paycheck, and they don't give a crap. We've seen it countless amount of times. But Logan Paul now is a full contracted wrestler now. And Bad Bunny, go back to his entrance when they were doing Backlash down in Puerto Rico. Probably one of the greatest definitely leave your info below, have people subscribe, and we'll subscribe as well. But you want to talk about a moment. David, we're going to get to that in a little bit here, but David says, gotta say right off the bat, John, I wasn't sure about Reigns versus Punk for Mania. But after the promos on Raw lately, I've changed my mind. I actually can't wait. We're going to get into that a little bit because I have some thoughts about Drew McIntyre's promo he cut on SmackDown. So we'll get into that a little bit. But one thing I want to ask you guys is, and I want to kind of leave this open for the discussion, throughout the night tonight. We are, as of now, a little bit over 2 months away from WrestleMania. Yeah, we're about 2 months away from Mania. Looking at it now, obviously, we know we got the Chamber coming up in a couple weeks down in Chicago, which we're going to get to that in a bit. But as far as your excitement level is, how excited are you for WrestleMania? And would you go if you had the opportunity? Because I'm reading here right now, like I said, we are 2 months away from the show. And as of now, ticket sales are performing below 18% compared to last year, which is that a good thing or is that a bit? I don't know. I'm a believer that I think WWE is really putting themselves into a corner here. We're doing a show back to back in the same area, in the same building. Well, let's be honest. The economy right now is not that good. And last year when they did it, was like, oh my God, we got to go to Vegas. We got to go to Vegas. That's less than a year ago. It's basically, 11 months ago, 12 months ago? And as somebody who's been to Vegas myself, Vegas is not cheap. I was lucky enough to be in Vegas back in 2018, 2019 for Double or Nothing. And I can tell you right now, Vegas is not cheap. Now, are you going to have, like I said, right now it looks like there are 36,000 seats for both nights. You're at less than 60,000 both for a combined, which isn't good. Below 60,000, yeah, we know last time they were in this position was the pandemic, WrestleMania 36 when they had nobody, and then obviously 37 they had very few people. But I don't know if from a financial perspective people are going to want to make the trip back out there again. Because let's be honest, tickets right now, I'm looking right now, tickets are reaching as much as $14,000. Now, let's be honest here for a second. Who has 14 grand to basically shell out there? I know I don't. And David chimes in here and goes, I already said it in earlier shows. If media came to the UK, I'd save up like a maniac just to get the chance to go, cost regardless. If it took me a year to save, I'd be up for it. But you know what's funny though? David, you say that. That's a funny thing you say that. Because I've always said the UK to me should get a WrestleMania. Especially before Saudi. But my point is this. With what we're seeing ticket prices now, is that going to end up biting WWE in the butt in the long run? The fact that, like I said, you got $14,000, and let's figure this out, okay? You got $14,000 for seats. Figure parking at the stadium ain't cheap. I heard today, where was it? Jerry's World down in Dallas, to park the car is $100. And then if you come, out by, over by me up here in the Northeast, MetLife Stadium, the Giants, I think, are 50, and I think the Jets are 20. It's astronomical. That's just to park the car. Figure if you figure out concession, you figure out beer prices and everything. Right there, then you're looking at a good $200 probably. And I want to bring in my tag team partner for this evening. The man, the myth, the legend himself. No, guys, we tried to get Damian Priest, but he's not available. So instead, we got Jay. What's
It's
going on?
Jay Priest. It's Jay Priest. Jay Priest is in the building. What's going on, John? What's going on, everybody? Crash Zero. Yes, we are a wrestling show. We love WWE, and I got so much to talk about, but I'll let John continue with the WrestleMania and everything. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying. I asked this question. I want to ask you this question as well. We're 2 months out from the show, basically
Correct.
2 months out at this point. Being that we only know, basically, as of now, as of tonight's show, we only really know one match.
Correct.
And that's Punk and Reigns.
Correct.
I mean, we can kind of speculate the other matches, but nothing's official yet.
Nothing is official.
Are you more excited? Like, where are you standing?
Vegas Jay will not go all the way to Vegas for WrestleMania this year. He will not do it. It's good to see you too, David. Good to see you, brother. But I am not excited. And you bring up a valid point because I did hear you earlier. WrestleMania tickets are down 18%, as you said. But I think you forgot another thing. Las Vegas tourism is down. Actually, tourism is down throughout the whole United States because of what you mentioned. So it's not only Vegas, it's everywhere else. And you said the economy. Yeah, that's part of it too. And the fact that we got, political stuff going on in Minnesota and stuff like that, that doesn't help either.
Well, I sent this in our group chat. WWE's put a thing going. If you're within 15 miles of the stadium now, they are not allowing you to do a watch party.
Would I even want to go? Just for what you just mentioned, there's only one match on the card?
Like I said, as of now, there's one match. Obviously, as we get closer, we should, like I said, we should have something between, the Americanos, more than likely.
Woo, the Americano. I'm so excited for WrestleMania, bro. I can't wait.
I just think, to me, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, you go to Vegas. Now, Jad, have you ever been to Vegas?
I have been to Vegas, and I must say it is truly overrated.
I've been to Vegas once, and I was saying this before you hopped in. I had a friend of mine was able to get me a ticket to go to the first Double or Nothing.
Good time to go.
And I was like, yeah, I'll come. And he covered everything. He covered the hotel room, meals, everything. The only thing
meals are pricey there. Meals are pricey there.
Yeah, and mind you, we stayed at a little hotel called
in a little hotel?
No, because I'm being sarcastic here. I drew a blank now.
I know you are.
It's one of the bigger hotels out in Vegas.
There's a lot of big hotels. There's Paris on the Strip.
No, Ritz-Carlton, maybe? Yeah, Ritz.
Ritz?
Yeah,
okay.
It was
I don't know.
Caesar's.
But Ritz is not on the Strip, though.
No, it was Caesar's Palace, because I remember I walked in there, and I remember the scene from The Hangover when they go to check into the hotel.
So,
and they asked that question. But my point is this, though. I remember going there, and this was pre-pandemic. So the world was much different back then.
Was normal.
And even then, you're talking what? 6 years ago was the first Double or Nothing?
Right.
Even back then.
John, look how you started your story. You basically said you went to Vegas to watch Double or Nothing. You know what I made a mistake about going to Vegas? When there was no shows at all. And I think that's what people go to Vegas for. They go for the boxing fight. They go for your Backstreet Boys concert. They go for Double or Nothing. They go for WrestleMania. But really, tourism is really down there. It's not the way it used to be, like you said, before pre-COVID.
It was a much different world back then.
But why is tourism down? That's what we got to ask ourselves. And folks, the answer is simple. Turn on your news channel at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, no matter what channel, what time it is, and you'll see why. Tourism is just down all over. And for me to get excited for WrestleMania, I must say, John, for the first time ever, everybody, Jay is not excited for WrestleMania. I know we have a big match with Punk and Roman, but I'm still not excited.
Oh, Americanos isn't going to sell you into
Okay, so what are you going to sell me with Drew? Cody again? So what? We're going to throw a curveball. Maybe we'll get a different match stipulation, or maybe we'll add a little Jacob Fatu to get it a little different. I've been seeing these guys battle for the last 6 to 8 months. I'm sick of it.
But you know
I'm
what's funny
sick
though?
of it.
I want to get into that a little bit because as we found out SmackDown this week, Cody and Jacob are both in the qualifier match for the Chamber.
And Sammy.
Yeah, but who's to say that? I mean, let's be honest. Who's to say Cody's actually going to be winning that?
So let's be honest. We're just going to think about Cody and Jacob, and we're going to totally forget about Sammy and bury him once again.
No, because I can see the scenario playing out very easily that Cody and Jacob get too involved with each other and Sammy ends up getting the win.
I don't know.
We'll touch on that a little bit later.
We'll touch it later, but
yeah, we'll touch on later. I also want to get your thoughts. This past week, the rest of Vindicated was announced. Just want to get your thoughts on that.
Interesting card. It should be good. I'm excited for it. So I can't wait.
April 11th, before WrestleMania.
Yeah, man. When's WrestleMania? 19th? 18, 19?
I think so. But I mean, you look at Mania right now. I mean, first of all, I was surprised that they announced Becky and AJ. I mean, I'm surprised, but I'm not shocked.
Okay.
That we're getting AJ and Becky at the Chamber. They're in Chicago. It makes sense. If you're booking it though, do you have some sort of almost like Fugazi finish so that you can easily set up the rematch at Mania? It just, to me, it seems weird that you have this match that everybody figured would have been at Mania, and it's like, oh, well, we're going to have it at the Chamber, which I get. Like I said, they're in Chicago. AJ Lee is from Chicago. The pop's going to be huge. But what do you do, though, in regard to that match to set up for Mania, though?
You have Becky do something over the top the way she was last night. Too much over the top. Make her do something for the finish, and you continue the story. I get why they put AJ in the Elimination Chamber match in Chicago. You want to sell tickets. I get all that. But I truly think that her promo was a little lost last night to me. And I think you don't want to be rusty going into Mania. You want to have like a match besides Becky. I think you want to do it with Natty. So I think Natty would have been a good choice for the Elimination Chamber, just to kind of elevate the person who I hate the most, Maxine Dupree. Just kind of elevate her a little bit. Just give her that little shine. And then you could kind of just go into Mania with Becky when you know AJ will be fully and ready. I just don't. I get why they're doing it and everything, but I think I would have liked her to have a warm-up match.
It's a funny. I remember saying the same thing when Mercedes Moné came to AEW and her first match was against Willow Nightingale for the TBS title. And I was like, why? What are we doing here?
And Willow was just getting her momentum then. Like, why would he even do that?
But I agree with you. I think they could have used Natty in that position.
I think they should have.
And I think the fact that you're really trying to push this whole thing, and like I said, we get it. You're in Chicago. You got your seats.
There's only a chamber match, and there's only that, right?
Yeah, as of now, it's just you have to do probably be 4 matches again. Because you got to realize it's going to be.
Those 3 matches or 4?
No, it's probably only going to be the Punk Balor match.
Balor.
AJ Becky, and the 2 Chamber.
So maybe we throw like a tag team title match in there somehow.
I get and this is the other thing. I just want to say this quickly. I get the fact that WWE is doing this whole. Oh, we're going to have 4 matches on a card, so that we're not sitting here like it's WrestleMania 35 all over again. It's hour number 8 and we still have 27 matches to go. But I just think the problem is you're almost screwing yourself then in the long run because of the fact of how deep this roster is. And again, I'm not saying you have to go back to the days of having the 12, 13 matches. But again, I'm of the mentality, especially for one of the bigger shows. Okay, fine. For something like the Chamber, if you want to keep it to 4 matches, that's fine. And we know Mania is going to be bigger. We know Mania, you're going to get everybody.
Yep.
But I figure at least for like Mania, for SummerSlam, for the Rumble, I'm of the mentality that every title, every major title, should be on the line.
Should be.
So, like, from the way I look at it, is I would have both World Heavyweight titles, the Undisputed title and the World Heavyweight title. I would have either the IC title or the US title. Because when was the last time either of those got defended on a PLE?
I can't even recall the last time Dominic defended the IC title.
No. And then now you got it on the women's side. You know, the women now have the US title and an IC title.
At least the US is being defended.
Yeah. I mean, God forbid we would actually, you know, have a tag title match eventually.
Which I don't know what they're doing with both tag titles for men and women.
I just think at this point, well, I've said it for a while when it comes to the women tag belts. I've said it for a while now. They need to get rid of them.
Do you feel that going months back before the WrestleMania belt, I'm going to ask everybody this too that was watching. Do you guys feel that we had good storylines that we could have used for Mania? We just dropped the ball. For example, I'll give you a perfect example. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. I wish I could get the payoff for WrestleMania to see them go one-on-one. What happened? We're not going that route. Is it early? Yeah. But this should have been executed, at least little hints way back. I don't understand it. Am I getting a payoff from that? Am I getting a payoff from Rhea and Neil, which I think is a good storyline to get payoff?
Well, I mean, realistically, when it comes to the tag belts, obviously, we're going to probably have something with the Bella twins. Let's call a spade on that one.
We're going to have silly matches. That's what we're going to have. A bunch of tag teams in one match on a ladder. Let's get it. Why do I got to see that every year?
Right? Okay, but you know what I think could have been a great story, but unfortunately injury kind of derailed it. What we would have seen with Seth and the Vision.
Could have seen that.
Because now the problem is, I think the only issue I have with that, and like I said, we can touch on that a little bit later, is the fact that you're going the Masked Man route again. It's like we've seen this already.
The Masked Man.
And I'm just of the mentality, we just saw this recently, and let's be honest, the pop really wasn't there when it was real to be Austin Theory.
It wasn't.
Now, if you're doing this again, and you're doing this right before Mania, I feel like if it's anybody other than Seth, unless it's like all of a sudden a Jericho, let's say, or somebody who's like a big name, I still think the problem is going to be the safe bet. It has to be Seth. Because I think the problem you're going to have is, and we'll get to David's comment here in a second, if it's anybody other than Seth, okay, you have to give them basically what, 2 months, a month and a half to come up with a compelling storyline as to why Jericho, why Ricky Saints, why any of those guys. Let's get the comment here. David says, I was going to say they need to push Natty right now. I'm loving it with her going heel again.
That's why I said she should have been Chamber versus AJ.
I'm loving the fact with her that they're not giving her the whole Natalia and she's, lovey-dovey Natalia's again.
Not the way she looked last night.
No.
Not the way she came out. Not the camera angles. None of that. And it's definitely not Adam Pearce. I told you that guy's fat. He's fat, damn it.
Hey, it could be Ray for all we know. Ray's not here right now.
I got to say, though, the way the Masked Man was last night, the way he was doing his little taunt, that does look like Seth Rollins.
But I'm saying, though, Jay, it could be Ray. It could be our very own Ray.
Could be.
Think about it. He's not here right
Could be
now.
Wilson. Could be Ryback.
Yeah.
Feed me more.
Yeah, we can, guys. If you missed that from last week, definitely go back and watch that. That was a great discussion talking about good old Ryback there. But
yes, Ryback.
But I just think the problem is, obviously because news broke, Braun Breaker's out now.
Mm-hmm.
He had a hernia disc.
Correct.
Surgery.
Some type of hernia.
And they showed the picture when he got it. And it was the moment, if you remember back on the Monday night after the Rumble, when Braun came out, I loved how they did that. Him coming out all pissed off. And it was when he went to go lift the table.
On the announcer table?
Yeah, the announcer table.
Yeah, I think that's where it happened.
Now, my only question is this now. How are we to believe... How are we to believe that he's actually injured?
Well, he is. I mean, they wouldn't announce it last night on Monday Night Raw, right?
But hear me out, though. Didn't we do the exact same thing with Seth going to SummerSlam last year?
They did, but I think this is legit. Honestly, I think he heard it before then. I think he always was hurting. I think it just got worse on that spot you mentioned with the announcer table. I think that's when it really got bad. Like maybe it started to deteriorate and they realized like, no, you need surgery. Like now, is he going to be gone 4 to 6 weeks? Maybe. Is he going to be back for WrestleMania? Maybe. Is he not going to be back? That's a possibility too. The longest could be 6 months healing with a bad hernia. And if it's deteriorating, I don't know. That doesn't look good. But then again, you know what? If Braun Breaker's not on, everybody, good for him. Because this WrestleMania, I don't think is going to be the way it was 2-3 years back. I truly don't think. So you know what? Go save yourself. And Jericho, save yourself too. I don't even want to see Jericho in WrestleMania. I'll see him after WrestleMania. That makes more sense to me. If I want to get new viewers, a new season out, I want something new. I want Chris Jericho Monday after WrestleMania. Raw after WrestleMania.
I hope so. Trust me.
It makes perfect sense.
Oh no, I agree with you 100%. That does make perfect sense to do it that way. But,
I would do it.
But here's my thing, though. Right now, like I said, we have Punk and we have Roman as your basically the only match confirmed.
Correct.
Kind of fantasy booking here for a second. With the way the storylines are going, what other matches do you see? And I'm asking everybody else as well. What other matches do you see happening?
Now I'm the booker.
You're booking it.
Okay. I have my first main event match. I would do Drew, Cody, and Jacob because obviously Jacob's not going to get the single. So I would change it up with a triple threat. Then I would do the payoff for Charlotte and Bliss. I would turn Bliss heel and I will have them go at it at WrestleMania to get my payoff. I would do that match. As for the Usos, honestly, there's no tag team that I can really take serious that could take the belts off of them. So you know what? From what I saw last night, I think Otis and Tozawa, what is it? Is it Tozawa? Tozawa, right? Tozawa and Otis, I think they could take the belt at WrestleMania, but they'll never get a one-on-one. So we'll just add 2 other teams to that. I'll do that, like a 4-way for a tag team. I need to defend the U.S. and the IC title from the women's side, right?
Yeah.
Julia, it gets a little tricky. But honestly, I would do Julia and Kiana James for the U.S. belt. I think Kiana James has proven herself. I think there's a story there, and it could definitely be used, especially when Julia qualifies for Elimination Chamber and does not win. Could do that. IC title. Who holds the IC women's title? I don't even know.
I don't even
Is
know.
it Becky, right? It's Becky.
Yeah.
Becky. Okay, so I do Becky and AJ Lee as the payoff. For the men's, U.S. title is who is the men's U.S. title?
Oh,
Jesus.
Carmelo Hayes.
Carmelo Hayes. I do Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov. Okay, the payoff, the story's there, the big payoff at WrestleMania. I do that. The IC title, Dominic, it's a little tricky. I don't have anybody going against Dominic. That one I don't know, but I definitely put Dominic on the card. Maybe you do a 4-way ladder match, or maybe if you want to tell me a great story, everybody, you put Matt Cardona versus Dominic Mysterio on WrestleMania. You do that. I'll be happy with that. Now, I do no-brainer on this one, everybody, and you agree with me. Femi versus Lesnar, no-brainer. I don't know why it's taking long. That's a no-brainer match to me. And am I missing anything? Let's see. No, I think I got it. Well, not the women's championship side, right? I didn't talk about that. So no. Stephanie Vaquer, Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
And the other one, which is hard, there's not really stories there for her, which is why I asked you, everybody, who do we put Jade Cargill with? I don't know, but I got to put her against somebody.
I would say Bianca.
Who did you say?
Bianca.
I think it's a little too late for that. Unless you introduce her in the chamber as a surprise mystery opponent going into the match. Then yes, I do Bianca.
Or do you go another route entirely? I like the card you presented. But here's another question though.
I forgot Gunther too, by the way. Go ahead.
There's nobody unless you want to have him retire R-Truth.
Or you bring somehow AJ Styles back in the fold.
Yeah, but here's my question though. Somebody, and I'll kind of give you mine.
Again, all right, give me a card.
Going off the titles.
Shoot.
I like Stephanie and Liv. But what if we were to do, instead of doing Jade and Bianca, what about Jade and Raquel? It's different.
It's there, but I don't know if she's the right dance partner with Jade because Raquel looked a little iffy on their last match. It looked a little shaky to me.
Yeah, but I think the thing is, I mean, let's be honest. Eventually, she's going to not be a part of Judgment Day anymore. And you want to talk about moment with Raquel. I think Raquel has enough. She can be on her own.
But here's the thing. You got to make Jade look like a star. Raquel is not that one to do it. The difference why it works with Stephanie is because, let's face it, Stephanie's title run's been a disaster booking. Disaster. Yeah. There's no good rivalries, right? But you put her with a veteran like Liv, she'll make you look good whether Liv wins or lose. So the fans will be behind Stephanie more, just like they were last night for the first time. I heard a big pop. I haven't heard a big pop from Stephanie since winning the belt.
Yeah.
Listen, John. Jade. Okay, so let's say that Bianca, we take it out. Who do you want for Jade besides Raquel that can elevate Jade and make her look good whether she wins or loses at WrestleMania?
I hate to say it, there's only one other person that comes to mind.
Okay.
Charlotte.
Yeah. See, that's hard because she's in a storyline, right? With Bliss.
But that's my point, though. That's
where it gets tricky.
But going off what you just said, though, of you want to have that veteran in there to help. I mean, that's the way. I mean, here's an oddball one. We've been talking about her most of tonight.
I had a question for you on that. I'm sorry, I had a question, but are they in the Elimination Chamber? Those two, Charlotte and Bliss?
Not that I know of.
Okay. As of now, not at now.
As of now, yeah, it could be. Things could change before we get to the chamber.
You said Nia. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
What happened?
You said Nia. You said something after I interrupted you, so I was trying to.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. No, I was just saying that. Could we see the possibility of? Oh, what was it? No, with the women's, we were talking about with Jade, and I said the problem is, you gotta. This is what I was trying to say. The one we've been talking about tonight. What about Natty?
Different brands, different roster. Can't work.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Does anybody follow that anymore?
Okay, but if I want to make Maxine Dupree a star, I should put her one-on-one against Natty at WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, but I feel like the whole thing with her and Natty, I mean, they haven't really. Yeah, I mean, I mean, I can see that basically ending at the Chamber, though. I can't see that going really to Mania.
And that's why I don't see Flair with. This is why I don't see Flair with Jay, because if Flair is in the Chamber and so is Bliss, my payoff is going to happen there for them going one-on-one. So why would I not get the payoff and just take Charlotte and make her fight Jade and forget about the payoff?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but I'm just trying to think of the other matches here. I would say I stick with Becky and AJ.
Okay, we're in agreement.
Yeah, that one I would definitely, because just like
what about Dominic? Dominic. Hard, right?
You can do the multi-man match easily. Because I think I've said this before. You do the multi-man match and you can set it up where, because I think if we're going to do, I know everybody's thinking we're going to get Oba and Brock.
We should.
I'm of the mentality you don't go that route so quickly. Hear me out for a second. Have Brock, because you have to remember, where are they for SummerSlam this year?
Minnesota.
Very simple. Have Oba get put into the IC title match picture. Just again, I'm just shootballing here, right? You know, I could be totally off on this.
You're the booker, man.
Have Oba win. Have Brock turn around and, have him turn around and say, like, I'm a fighting champ, I'm a fighting champ. We get towards SummerSlam because there's nothing that's been official that they're saying Brock's going to retire, but everybody's figuring Brock's going to retire at SummerSlam. Why not have Oba turn around and say, okay, I'll have your match with you at SummerSlam. My title for your career. Think about it.
And Brock never been IC champ either.
Brock's never been IC champion. And one thing I've always talked about on the show is you want to build that future stars. And as much as I'm loving what they're doing right now with Gunther, and I'm loving this whole career killer thing, whatever you want to call it, how much bigger of a star are you going to make with somebody like Oba than have him retire Brock in Brock's home state?
Could very well happen.
And I think you do it that way. And I think that's how you take the belt off of. And the thing also, you do the multi-man match, you can keep Dominic strong because Dominic doesn't have to eat the pin. Because also, I want to do it as I would do it as a multi-man, but not as a pin and you win the belt. I would almost do it like they did at WrestleMania 32 with the IC title ladder match. Have Oba win it. And the story is there. And then, like I said, Dominic looks strong. You have to worry about Dominic. And you could also maybe bring in not only just Oba, I mean, you could even bring in Ethan Page. And this to kind of at least give him that moment. And then as far as the other side with the U.S. title,
Carmelo Hayes,
I go triple threat.
You go triple threat. Okay.
Carmelo Hayes. I agree with you about Ilya, but I would even go a step further. Trick Williams. Think about it.
Doesn't make sense to me, but I'll listen. Go ahead.
Trick and Carmelo have the story there.
Mm-hmm.
They have the history.
Mm-hmm.
Trick has, since he came to the main roster, I feel has been one of the most over stars. Especially when they were in Saudi a couple weeks ago for the Rumble, and you heard the entire crowd chanting, whoop that Trick. And you see what they've been doing with Trick as far as putting him with the bigger names, like the Sami Zayns, like the Randy Ortons.
Right.
Why not have him go after the title?
I just want to say I cannot see it because of what they did this past Friday on SmackDown with I don't see it. Do you remember, or I don't know if you saw it?
I didn't get a chance.
Let me remind the viewers. So basically, Drew cuts finally his promo, which we'll talk about, John, in a little bit.
Yeah.
And Trick's music hits, and he cuts a promo on Drew, right? And he sits down for the entire main event. And he absolutely does not get involved. It does not do nothing. So I cannot see a person like that just go down to Mello. The story's there, but I think Ilya really took the story, and I think they should go with that. I think you should just present Trick at that high card level. Like, yeah, he's a promising star, but you could always put him in like another multi-man match or whatever, not have him win or take the fall. I'll be fine with that.
And then, like I said, obviously we know we have Punk and Roman.
Ooh.
I would go a step further.
Warning.
I would go a step further though with Drew. I would not have it be a triple threat.
I got a good question for you.
What's up?
What do you do as the booker, John Blaine? What do you do with all these cards you said and all these people? What do you do with Tiffany Stratton? Ooh. Moment of silence, folks.
U.S. title.
Very silent. I figure you have an answer already.
No, U.S. title.
U.S. title against Julia?
Yeah.
But she qualified.
Oh, she did qualify. Yeah. No. I was
going that route now.
I forgot she qualified. I don't think she's going to win though.
No, she qualified.
But I don't think she's going to win though.
Yeah, but you would bring her from the position she was at all the way down to U.S.?
Well, you're not going to keep her in that position forever, though.
Okay, but here's the thing. Is Julia on the WrestleMania promo or is Tiffany Stratton?
Tiffany.
So I have to present her high, right? I can't just bring her down to a U.S. championship match.
Then do you do Tiffany and Jade again? I feel like we've done that already.
We've done it already, but remember, she just got brutalized when she lost the title. You could do kind of a revenge story, but I think I have to add something to it if we were to go that route. I don't want to go that route. I'm in agreement with you with the Bianca. I love that idea. I think it makes the perfect sense because the story is there. And I think it will be a good surprise for everybody at the Chamber. It will get a big pop. It will be lovely to see Bianca win the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, and I just think, but what I was going to say, though, with Drew, I wouldn't have Drew, Cody, and what's his face? Jacob.
It looks like that's where they're going.
Unfortunately, yes. But I would change up a little bit. Have Drew versus Jacob.
I just don't think the company has belief in Jacob like that.
Because hear me out. Eventually, we're going to see a heel turn from Cody. What better way to start a heel turn than have him not qualify?
Or what better way for Cody to turn heel when he low blows Drew and wins the title back?
I mean,
or Fatu.
like I said, I'm not a fan of it because I think Cody is much better chasing the belt than he is holding the belt. And we spoke about this before.
I think it's every
Cody's run when he went to go win the belt, head into WrestleMania 40, was one of the greatest stories ever told. He won the belt, and it's like, okay, other than his mini feud with John and his mini thing that he had with Kevin, what feud stands out when he won that title?
Nothing. Just like everybody that has a championship right now, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. Everybody that's holding a title, what great feud did you see them with?
Unfortunately, the only one I can sit there and see.
Look, Tiffany Stratton, nada. Stephanie Valkyrie, nada. Dominic Mysterio, I don't even defend my belt. Carmelo Hayes. Yeah, we got this You Opens challenge. Any rivalry? No, nada. There's nothing. I think the way they book these champions is like, what the hell, man? I don't want to see Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax go at it for 4 months.
No, I don't either. But here's what we're going to do, Jay. We're going to take a quick break.
We're going to take a break.
Going to go talk, hear from our friends over at Flow. We're going to come back. I want to get your thoughts quickly on. Wait, we actually. Wait a second.
And if everybody got questions, I'll answer it too. You guys love WWE? Well, I'm here to answer it. So
here's what we're going to do. We're going to come back, hear from our friends at Flow, come back. I want to get your thoughts from the show Unreal that Michael Hayes said.
Yeah.
In regards to Chelsea Green.
I saw it all, so we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about that. And it looks like, wait a second.
What's going on?
Something's going down on NXT right now.
More crappy stars on TV? What's going on?
No, I happened to just turn on NXT here for a second. And Keanu Carver apparently was brutalized the backstage area. So we'll definitely touch on that as Darkseid right now is in the ring. Then we're going to get into not only that, but then Jay and I are going to go over the Vindication card that DJ Storms will be presenting on April 11th. Just give you our take on the matches and how it's all going to play out. Guys, hang tight. We got so much more coming up. You are listening or watching the Randall Radio Show. We'll be right back right after this. And we're back live here on the Around the World Radio Show. Guys, definitely leave your comments below. As it looks like Darkseid right now is in the ring, cutting a promo. As I forgot, talking about belts for a second. I forgot Darkseid still holds the tag belts.
Horrible.
I forgot because off of NXT last week they had that big melee with all the tag teams.
Right. I think OTM was in it, right?
Yeah, because the Colon right now. Sean Spears, and I don't know who the other guy is.
Vance? I don't really know, man.
Well, actually, I want to get your thoughts quickly. Talking about NXT, obviously last week they had that ladder match as we were on air last week. And your new NXT heavyweight champion is the man where you say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like the move of Joe Hendry holding the title?
I'm fine with it. I had Ricky Saints. I just think he's a little better charisma-wise because the way they're presenting Joe Hendry lately, the last few months, it's like a joke. He hides in a refrigerator. He hides in a box. He hides behind a curtain. Don't say his name. I don't know. I find that kind of silly. So maybe they'll take him a little serious as champ, and that's what I'm hoping moving forward. But I think Ricky Saints should be the one to dethrone him when time comes.
And then we got a comment coming here from David who says, if they put a main brand strap on Obafemi, they need to keep him strong and give him a decent run. I think Oba could have great success on the main event card if WWE didn't drop the ball on him.
I don't think they're dropping the ball. I think they're doing the same thing they did with Brock Lesnar, right? When he first appeared and he's dominating everybody, he's just coming out and just destroying people. I think he had a match on SmackDown because I heard the referee count 1, 2, 3. Was it against Kit Wilson?
You have to do it right.
So he had a match.
Kit Wilson.
Hey, give credit to the guy. At least he's getting a reaction from people.
Yeah.
So I give him all the credit in the world. But I don't think they drop. I think they're doing the same thing like Brock. I think they're really setting us Oba and Brock the way that.
Yeah, no, they definitely. I think they are.
I hope they don't drop the ball on him too. I
don't think so, being that he was number 1 in the Rumble, and he had all these interactions, and he looked so goddamn dominant.
Right.
I don't think they're going to drop. I don't think that I don't think we're in the days anymore that it's somebody from NXT. Oh, they're not going to they're not going to be booked well or anything. I don't think we're going to have those days anymore. I think those days are few and far between us.
I just thought about it. I got to put somebody that's over at WrestleMania. Who is not better over than Penta?
Yeah, you want to talk about somebody who I think should be used better.
And he should probably have that one-on-one with Dominic. I got to put Penta at WrestleMania. I have to.
I'll go a step further. If you want to talk about putting Penta on the card, what about this novel idea? Penta and Rey reunite the Lucha Brothers. Here's the thing, though. We talk about, how WWE doesn't use the tag team division properly. You have guys in that tag team division. Let's be honest here for a second, okay? The New Day, the Usos, Motor City Machine Guns. You have Guerrillas of Destiny in Tanga Loa and Tama Tonga.
Yeah, Alpha.
You have so many goddamn good tag teams that you could easily set it up. Easily. First of all, I think having 2 tag belts, I think is ridiculous. I think you need to have 1 tag belt for both brands. And very simple. Can you imagine the type of match you can get? Motor City Machine Guns, Usos, the Lucha Brothers, New Day.
I could get something good out of it.
Especially take out New Day, okay? Guerrillas of Destiny, one of the more prominent tag teams that we saw over at New Japan. Motor City Machine Guns. Probably one of the most dominant tag teams we saw in Impact. Lucha Brothers, yeah. When AEW used them, right, you had a formidable tag team there. I mean, you want to talk about a moment. We have not seen a moment with tag team wrestling in WWE, with the exception of maybe the New Day and the Usos, when they were having that run about maybe 10 years ago, if you remember. The last time, and I hate to say this, you have to go back to the Dudleys. Dudleys, Hardys, and Edge and Christian.
Wow, that's way back. It's like 1920, over 20 years ago.
Yeah. But look at it this way, though. Tell me if I'm wrong.
You're not wrong. I just think at this moment, WWE's roster are actually on all 3 brands. They don't have a lot of organic tag teams.
No.
Everything's just random.
But I think the thing is, if you turn around and you go to 1 tag title belt, because look at Raw, for example. There's, except for the Usos And you can sort of throw Tozawa and Otis in there as well.
You have to.
What other tag team do you have? I mean, yes, granted, you have the War Raiders.
That's it. You just named them all.
Other than that, what else do you have?
You just name all the tag teams. You name them all.
And then we mentioned some on SmackDown. But now think about it this way. You merged the whole tag team division into one. Okay? Fatal 5-way. Ladder match. Tag belts on the line. The Usos. The Lucha Brothers. Motor City Machine Guns. Gorillas of Destiny. War Raiders. Sign me up for that.
6. I had an Alpha Babes.
But just talk, I mean, you want to talk about Carnage?
I think that's what we're going to get.
That's the only way
I think you're onto something, man. I think you're onto something.
Only way you can. Because I think this crap of, we're going to have a Raw tag title. And then it's like, then you have Judgment Day holding the belts for as long as they did. And they did nothing with them.
Twice.
And unfortunately, I'm a believer that if you have somebody who's a champion, they got to defend it once in a while. Because, like, great case in point here, Brock, when he first won the Universal title, and he had that belt for over 500 days, he did nothing with it. And I remember being on the show, and I was screaming to the masses. Then I'm like, what the hell are we doing here? I get it, it's Brock. But when you have guys who are holding these belts and aren't doing anything with them,
no.
What the hell are we doing here? And let me switch up with this good point here. If they are injured for whatever reason, I mean, whatever happened back in the day when you would have to vacate a title?
Like Dominic Mysterio should have vacated his title.
I mean, the last match Dominic had was against Cena at Survivor Series.
And then he was out, and the title was never defended.
No. But I think somebody like him, I don't want to compare Dominic to Brock, but I feel like what Brock did, yes, it's Brock Lesnar, He's the beast incarnate, the 1 in 21-1. I get it. But why Dominic, though? Why is Dominic being allowed to hold that title when it's not doing anything with it?
Because he's popular, he's over, and that's what they need at WrestleMania, and they need people that react, and everybody reacts to Dominic Mysterio, whether you boo him or like him. So I think you gotta hold the title. But let me tell you this: if it wasn't Dominic Mysterio holding the title, let's say a Kofi or my boy Javon Evans, which I think David completely WWE is dropping the ball on Javon Evans. I don't care how awesome the move was last night, what he did. They're dropping the ball on him. But what if it's not Dom? What if it was somebody like a Javon Evans? What if it was somebody that Penta was holding the belt? I truly think if that person was injured, they would have definitely strapped the title and vacated. 100%.
Ooh, I like this now.
Better be good in NXT. Better be good.
On NXT right now.
What's on?
Vanity Project.
Oh, God.
No. Is actually in the ring right now.
Oh, great.
In a match with Joe Hendry.
Oh, wow. That's going to get Joe Henry over. He's champion. Let's book him with Vanity Project. Great idea.
Yeah, but now, hold on. I'm curious to see you, though. No, it's just, okay. It is just for the NXT title.
This is the horrible booking I hate of NXT. I truly don't understand it whatsoever. Don't get it. But go ahead. I mean,
no, I was just going to say though. Actually, let's hop over now to the thing with Unreal before we get into some independent wrestling talk, because I know there's quite a bit of stuff about independent wrestling. I have not had a chance to see it yet, so you're gonna have to take the lead on this one.
Okay.
With the whole, basically, just to set up for everybody who's watching it.
Sure.
WWE Unreal just came out with season 2, maybe a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a comment said by Michael Hayes basically insinuating that Chelsea Green is only there to help put other people over.
Mm-hmm.
When she is one of the most charismatic wrestlers in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a lot of talk amongst, podcasts, and I want to get your thoughts on it, because I heard it and I was sitting there and I'm like, you look at somebody like Chelsea, and we've seen her at the top of the division. I remember when she was at the top of the Knockouts division back in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she can put on good matches. This crap of, she's only there to help put over, the Tiffany Strattons and these others. I'm like, why? Why are we still in this mindset that certain wrestlers are only good for certain parts? I mean, case in point, I remember when Shawn Spears, great point here, when Shawn Spears was, I think, still in NXT, and for a while he was being used to put the other talent over. And I'm like, why? And somebody like Chelsea, who, let's be honest, you want to talk about somebody who, her versus Jade, I could see that being a possibility down the road. But we all know it's going to be a 30-second squash match. But I guarantee it's going to be 30 seconds where you get the most goddamn views for the program. So what are your thoughts? And obviously people who watched it, definitely give us your thoughts as well. What were your thoughts in the comments that Michael PSA said?
Well, I think WWE has a lot of those. I don't think it's just Chelsea. I think it's the R-Truths, the Natties that are out there that they just see that they could do everything. But I think Michael Hayes is missing the point. I think WWE Unreal Show is missing the point. You have these talented people that could do anything in 30 seconds, 60 seconds, no matter what time you give them. And they're not only elevating the other person, they're elevating your show. They're elevating the ratings. They're elevating the fan base. They're elevating their merch sales. I think Chelsea will elevate merch sales if she ever got an opportunity. I haven't seen one Chelsea Green t-shirt available. I don't know. And if there is something on WWE Shop, I'm sure it's pretty freaking horrible. So I think that he should have explained it more in his comment, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He basically, I believe he should have said, if I was Michael Hay, I'd be like, yeah, she could do everything, but I truly see her as being one of those shiny stars, put her in the right situation when the time comes. I think I would have ended something like that. Rephrase my words a little bit, but I think that's the problem with WWE. They have all these talent. You have a freaking hell of a generational talent in Javon Evans, for God's sakes, and you keep booking him, getting momentum week after week with this Americano crap, and I just hate it. So I think they're using Chelsea not to the full potential, and I think that's a big problem, because if they do put her in those title situations, I truly think she can not only make magic, win or lose, but she could definitely make your fan base a lot more on her side than what she's getting from time to time.
Yeah, no, and David chimes in here quickly. He says, I'm wondering what on earth has happened to NXT interim general manager Robert Stone over the years. When he was Robbie E in TNA years ago, he was jacked.
He basically left, and I guess
had a lapse in his
not need to get jacked no more. I think he didn't need to get jacked.
No. But I agree with you. I just think I'm just tired of this whole notion that certain wrestlers are only there. And I get the fact, when it comes to like the younger talent, I get it. When you bring up girls like Lash Legend, okay, that are first making their impact, okay, fine. You want to have Chelsea be in there so they can get a quick win on her, I'm all for it.
Sure.
But why does she have to, my question is though, why does she have to do that for a Tiffany Stratton? Why does she have to do that for a night, and that's what I don't understand, is why is she doing that for people who have been on the roster, who are proven?
That's a good question. I just think it's just the experience that Chelsea Green has as a veteran, especially I believe she's on the SmackDown brand.
Yeah.
So there's not a really good veteran out there that can work with everybody. And she's tried so many times to work with Julia, and it just doesn't work because I think Julia strong style still shows in the ring, so she still needs a little work.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that there's really nobody that on that brand specifically that could elevate talent. I think we needed to put her with Tiffany Stratton, no matter how much you may not like it. But I think Tiffany needed that rub, and I think a lot of other people need that rub too. I think if you want to get Bliss a little over, I do think you need to put her in a match with Chelsea. Makes perfect sense. The fans will go behind Bliss. Nowadays, I hear the reaction from Bliss. It's not the way it was when she came back 2, 3, 4 months back.
No, and that's my issue though, is for these girls who are over and have time in the ring.
Right.
Why are we feeding Chelsea Green to them?
Because they're not doing their job. The other talent that are in the ring with Chelsea Green are not doing their job. I'm sorry, but Tiffany Stratton was not doing her job as WWE champ. Now, people could say booking and that, but it's the person too. It's the individual. If I give you the ball and I tell you to go run with it, make something happen, make some magic, and my producer's telling me that, then I got to deliver. And 9 out of 10, I'm sorry. Bliss hasn't delivered. Flair hasn't delivered. Stratton hasn't delivered. Jax hasn't delivered. These people are veterans. They've been in the game. They're just not delivering with the fans because, honestly, when I see these girls in the ring, no matter one-on-ones or multi or tag, it's crickets. It really is.
But I think that's half my issue.
Not joking, Paul.
No, and I get it. And I mean, could it come down very simple that the roster is spread out too thin? Is that a possibility? I mean, think about it this way.
I don't think so.
We talk about the tag team side of things.
No, I agree with you. The tag team's a disaster. But think about, listen, you just brought up think about the SmackDown brand of the women's roster. I think it's good. I don't even think that's the issue. They have good stars.
I don't get it. And I just think somebody like Chelsea, I don't see why she shouldn't be in that discussion of going after a Jade Cargill for a title.
She should. But listen, it's the individual too. If they tell Flair, I need you to make dog crap and make it to pasta, and you're giving me dog crap out there, more dog crap than when I just come on, you're not doing your job.
No, I get what you're saying. And like I said, this can be a 3-hour conversation.
Yeah, you want to talk about the show more. So what else? Was there anything else that struck you that you had a problem with Unreal?
No, nothing really. I
had a problem with it. But
Jay,
This is my problem. What I learned from the show, they change things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day, no matter what. That's what I learned.
My issue with this. I saw the first season of Unreal and I liked it.
Oh, you liked it?
I liked the first season because I'm always very big in, I want to, I'm curious to see how certain things are done. But here's my issue. When they kept showing the creative team and they showed, the Bobby Roods, which again, I have no issues with who's on creative. But you look at, maybe this is the reason why, the women's division is done. I'm trying to figure out the best way I can phrase this. Maybe that's the reason why the women's division is run as poorly as it is. Because who do you have in that creative team that's a female? Think about it.
Oh, Natty's husband.
Good point.
TJ.
But my point is this, though. My point is, wait. Oh, I thought the
Breaking
Evolve
news.
champion just won the NXT title for a second. But here's my point, though. If you're gonna have the women wrestle, okay. Now again, maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe I'm gonna get chastised for what I'm about to say.
Maybe.
But shouldn't you have a woman run the women's division behind the scenes?
Yeah.
And not have it be, something. And again, I have nothing against who they have, as Joe Hendry has retained his NXT title tonight.
But this is where I get back at you. They do have a woman behind the scenes. You know what her name is? Molly Holly.
Okay, then how come Molly Holly wasn't any of those?
I feel like she wasn't that good. She was never that good. I wouldn't put her behind the scenes with all those women roster talent I got.
But do you see my point though?
I see it, but they do have a veteran backstage.
I mean, I get the fact, you got Abyss, you got Bobby Roode, you got
Abyss,
Nick Aldis, all those guys. It's all great. Don't get me wrong. Whoa, who's it? Hold on.
Uh-oh. Breaking news. NXT live.
Oh, shit.
And John just cursed because he's excited. Something big happened. What is it? Tell us.
Ricky States just came in and attacked Joe Hendry.
Good.
And also he came in with the hood up. I'm like, oh shit, we're going this route again.
Yeah, that's what we're doing now.
Well, I guess I know. Who Joe Hendry's opponent's going to be at Roadblock.
You have to. There's no other top star down there. And Ethan Page, I can't put him because he has the North American title.
Mind you, Roadblock's not till the end of March.
I guess I'm going to have to drag it.
Mind you, it's actually going to be in our neck of the woods. MSG.
Oh, yes. The little theater. Yeah.
Actually, speaking about that, I just want to bring this up quickly. There's been rumblings of Double or Nothing and where Double or Nothing will be. And I'm actually very excited because I might actually try to go this year.
Ooh. The return of Will Ospreay.
Yeah, you know what's funny? It's right in our backyard.
Ah, you're right there. You could just walk.
If the reports are accurate, the Double or Nothing will be at Arthur Ashe Stadium.
That's not bad. I've been there twice for AEW shows.
No, but it's definitely. I just want to bring that up quickly, but we're gonna get some independent talk now because there's been a lot of stuff going on the independent scene.
Right. Well, let me say something to David Reynolds' comment. He said, people could say what they want about Jade Cargill as women's champion, but she only has to show up on the entrance ramp and the crowd isn't on. I agree with you, but if you remember, Jade had that big pop when she first came, then it died because her work ring sucks. So I'm actually proud that she's getting that off, but I still think she needs a little more. But go ahead. Let's talk about Vindication because it's a lot. The card's been announced, John. I can't believe it. You want to talk about what match we're going to see? Should I bring up a match?
Well, first thing I just want to do, I know with me not being on here as frequently, one of the companies I just want to bring up is the Dynasty. Just had their show this past weekend, Cupid Show Call. I didn't get a chance to go. I was not able to go. But we did have an interview, and we'll be dropping sometime this week. Unfortunately, with the former Dynasty heavyweight champion, Black Rose. Wow. As from what I saw, Fox Finger is your new Dynasty heavyweight champion.
Wow.
So I definitely want to give a shout out to Fox.
Shout out.
Definitely that was a moment. I can't wait to see the video for that when it does come out. And also, hopefully, prior to the next Dynasty show, or hopefully sometime soon, we will have your friend and our friend Billy back on.
Ooh, Billy's been working a lot. Shout out to Billy.
Yes. Yes, she is the voice of the dynasty. She's the voice of TIW. And you can also make the comment she will be one of the voices of Vindication.
Warning.
But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually pull up the card. Because, yeah, it's the card itself. I gotta give Storms credit here on something. The card itself looks really good. It looks really good. And basically on paper, there's not that many matches. And I want to get your thoughts here. We got Crowbar taking on Vargas.
It's a tough hitting hard match that's going to be. But I think I'm going to go with Vargas on that.
I'll say this much. You got Guy in Crowbar who, let's be honest, you want to talk about somebody who never ages. I've seen Crowbar now wrestle quite a few times, especially down in Philly for Battleground. And the guy is still putting on matches and still putting on performances like he's in his 20s.
I think we need to have him on the show and so he could explain how he takes all these crazy bumps, especially on guardrails, and somehow the next day just walk like nothing. Like, hey, how are you, Ray?
Well, here's the only thing, though. He is going up against the Dominican Destroyer, Vargas. And if you've never seen Vargas wrestle, he's not a small boy.
No.
He's a rather large individual.
That's why I'm picking him.
I think with this one, and we talked about this, DJ Storms and I spoke about this match on the last countdown show we did. I think this is going to come down to simply the experience factor.
Okay.
I think you look at something like Crowbar. Crowbar's been at this now for over 30 years. Vargas, I know at a minimum, I think has been at it now for at least 15. So I wonder if I think that's going to play a huge role in it. But now also, it was announced that Off the Rails come May, we're going to have a fatal 4-way for the Savage Heavyweight title.
It's crazy.
And at this show at Vindication, we're going to have a few qualifying matches. And one of them was this match right here. Tony Chinny, obviously we know he was a part of the team that won the I Still Said.
No, very well.
Yeah. Taking on, making his debut, Anthony Gracia.
Yeah, Puerto Rican wrestler, been around for quite some time. He's not bad. He's good.
Now let me ask you this though: does Chinny ride into the show off of the buzz from the last one? And do you think that would end up helping him win?
I don't know because it's hard because Tony kind of helped me that day on the last show with Storms and kind of helped us out and lifted some stuff. So, but then I got Garcia as Puerto Rican like me, so it's like turn against my brother. It's like, oh, it's a tough call. But you know what? I Tony looked out for me. I'm gonna look out for him. I'm gonna have him with the victory. He's got to pull it off, man. I'm all for it. Sorry, Garcia. I'm sorry, brother. Just never met you, man.
As much as I hate to say it, I think Tony ends up getting the win here.
Yeah.
Just on the one reason. I think he's going to be I think going into that fatal 4-way, I think he's definitely going to be riding the success.
Yeah.
From the last show.
And it's good to see him in a singles. I haven't seen him in a single.
Okay. You want to talk about tag team wrestling?
Here we go.
There's 2 tag matches on this night. Both of them, I think, could be match of the night, in my opinion.
Shoot.
We got the Audacity taking on the Shot Callers.
Warning.
The Audacity has been on a run recently.
Major run.
I feel like the Shot Callers are haven't even hit their prime yet.
I don't know, but they've been on a run and they've been on a tear. I would, if I was a bettor, I would hate to bet against these guys. I would not dream of betting.
And the issue is, if the Audacity loses, I mean, they are in a little bit of a losing streak right now. Are they going to go into this thinking, are they going to try to look ahead and be like, well, we can beat them, we'll be back in title contention for a lot of, and then that's going to hurt them in the long run.
Well, I think they need to win. I think Audacity needs to reclaim themselves and prove why they're the most dominant tag team in all of wrestling.
And then we also have number one contenders match for the VPW women's title. If Stephanie Grady is able to hold the belt going into May, as Amira Sahara takes on Vita Von Star. Now, if you saw our last countdown show, we had it on. And boy, that woman scared the crap out of me.
How she scared you?
Well, when she turned around and said, she likes to inflict as much violence as she can, I'm like, come again? Well, you know who she used to work with, right?
I don't know who she's with. That was the first time I met her when we interviewed her. But who she used to work with?
The Righteous.
Okay.
And yeah, something tells me I think Vita's going to win this. I hate to say it.
From what I've seen from her, I think it's time to give her that W. I'm in agreement.
Now, here's a tough one. We got a few matches here that are going to be a little tough. And another qualifier for the Fatal 4-Way. Adonis Stone, Daniel Alexander.
Yeah, I got Daniel Alexander all the way.
This one's going to be tough, though, because obviously, Adonis Stone. Well, I'll say Adonis Stone had that moment at the last show when he did lift Ox Adams up. But on the other hand, Daniel, we're talking about riding in momentum. How much better momentum can you be riding in on if you're Daniel than the fact that you won the Grand Rumble for PCW? You basically had your Dolph Ziggler moment 3-on-1 with, at the last show.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. I mean, I said this, on the Countdown show. Daniel, to me, is the type of wrestler. He's great in the ring, but he's somebody who never will give up. Let me put it that way.
And he proved it.
Yeah. I hate to say it, but I think Daniel gets the win here.
Yeah.
I would say because I think Adonis can do great in that Fatal 4-Way. I just think it's got to be Daniel. So right now, if we're booking this, we have the Fatal 4-Way now. Coming off of the matches announced, Daniel Alexander, Tony Cini, and Papadon. Unless I'm missing one.
Well, for Off the Rails, I would love to know who Tiffany Grady's going against. I think it's a mystery.
Yeah, I think so too.
Defending her VPW Women's Championship. Who is she defending it? We have no clue.
Unfortunately, it's not me.
Oh, it's not me. And by the way, Tiffany, I am not going to tie your boots, okay?
Yeah, but here's the big thing, though. Here's the big match we're waiting for. We got two matches on this card that could definitely make heads turn. And that would be the tag match, unsanctioned tag match. Recon and Ray Caliche taking on Silk City Kings. And an unsanctioned tag team match.
Tough for me, but Rick Recon is supposed to fight one of my dear friends, which is why I'm not going to support Rick Recon. That's Total What Time. Total What Time. Shout out to you, baby. I see you're doing your thing in the 80s, Con. Loved it. But I am going to go with the Silk City Kings. Just for the fact that they deserve it. They're a great tag team. If you haven't watched them, folks, pay attention. You can watch some matches of them on YouTube. Excellent tag team, but unsanctioned will give them, I think, a more edge for their style of wrestling. So I have Silk City.
Well, I agree with you about Silk City, but I look at it also the fact that they've been tagging for a lot longer.
Yeah.
And that especially we saw it after the first show.
Yeah.
And we've seen a change in Recon.
I have.
And between Silk City Kings and Total Atom, I feel like that's all he's been focused on.
And he's focusing too much on my friend Total Atom. Rick Recon, leave him alone. Leave him alone.
Now, Jay, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Because now I'm going to bring up your boy there, Greek Savage.
Ooh.
Obviously, as we start the last show, it doesn't seem all rainbows and butterflies between him and Ox right now.
I think there's a little disruption in their relationship, but I think the relationship is still good.
Let me ask you a question.
But I should say this: Ox and Savage should be very careful for off the rails. Very careful.
Well, here's my question: does Ox walk into off the rails into that fatal 4-way as the Savage Heavyweight Champion, or does PJ pull off? I wouldn't say the impossible, but does PJ pull off the big moment and take the Savage Heavyweight title into off the rails?
So do we have all 4 players announced? I know there's Greek and Savage, but are the other 2 announced?
Yeah, that was the Gracia, Cheney, and Adonis Stone, and Daniel Alexander.
Okay. I think Ox is in very serious danger, and so is Savage. I think Savage needs to watch out, because these wrestlers could get a little froggy. I know some of them distaste Savage, but it's okay. He's my boy. He's doing his thing, baby. He's making sure Ox is the greatest Savage Heavyweight Champion of all time. But I'm going to tell you, John and Savage, if you're watching, and Ox, if you're watching, you should be very careful. Because ever since PJ Savage graced us with his presence a few months back and made his return to professional wrestling, he's been on a tear. And let's remind folks, this is for the Savage Heavyweight Championship. His name is PJ Savage. It kind of makes sense for him to be a major threat for Ox taking the title. But I like Greek Papa Don. Shout out to Greek Papa Don. I like you too, man. I don't count you out either. And if Greek wins, I'm happy. You know why? You know why, John? Because Savage is Greek. And Greek Papa Don is Greek, right? So, hey, if it goes there, I'm cool with it. But would Savage be cool with it? I know, Savage. Tread lightly, but you should be very careful for that championship because the guys that you named, John, are hard hitters, and they're coming definitely after.
Well, I'll go a step further. As much as I hate to say it, I think going into after the show, Vindication, obviously definitely get your tickets. I think unfortunately, I don't think Ox is going to hold that belt coming out of off the rails.
So who do you got?
Papa Don.
Okay, I'm cool with that. That's my second choice.
Think about it this way for a second. Because obviously we know there's been issues between Papa Don and Greek Savage.
And there's been issues with Greek Papa Don and PJ Savage, which Greek retained his title this past January at CCW.
Well, now here's my question, though. Who's to say this isn't all a ruse?
You love saying everything's a ruse.
What if
it's a ruse?
Hear me out for a second. Would it shock anybody if all of a sudden Papa Don and Savage are not liking each other and all of a sudden Savage ends up having Papa Don win and Savage turns on Ox?
That could very well happen. It could also happen with PJ Savage because they had confrontations this past CCW in January in the show in the Queen's Elk Lodge. So it is very possible that could happen. I wouldn't mind it, John. I think that's a great idea you brought up. I would love it, but I gotta say, if I was Greek Savage and I have this mammoth of a monster who's like 3 freaking defensive linebackers in one, I don't know if I would go from that to go to someone like Greek Papadon or PJ Savage or Daniel Alexander or someone lower. I mean, I have a freaking Brock Lesnar type of dude, man. The guy's just massive. When I look up, I feel like I'm looking at the Statue of Liberty. That's how tall.
Think about it this way: look at how many opportunities Alex Adams is getting right now. Look at it. Also, now we're seeing him everywhere. I'm just saying.
But listen. Don't forget that Ox and Daniel had a little scuffing in the ring, and Daniel was getting his lights out.
Yeah.
So let's not forget about that.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. But I do want to mention a couple of other things regarding independent wrestling.
Announcements.
Ace, American Championship Entertainment Wrestling. Great company down in Teaneck, New Jersey.
Nice.
Will be returning on.
When they return.
Just had the other one here. We'll be returning for Hero Celebration on March 7th.
March 7th.
Yeah,
7 to 11. Get your tickets.
And there's something about being in that building that I absolutely love.
I've never been to that building before. What is it, Knights of Columbus?
It's Knights of Columbus in Teaneck.
I've never been to that building.
And it is... Well, I do have some of the matches here, so if I can actually pull up... Here we go. So as of now, the matches... Oh, I don't think they announced the matches yet. Okay. Never mind. I thought I can pull up the matches, but they did not pull up... They did not have the matches yet. But...
And shout out to these freaking empanadas and more present. Shout out to you guys.
Yes. Have you? By the way, the funny thing is, I've actually had their empanadas.
You had the empanadas? Is it banging?
One of the best empanadas I've ever had.
Guys, you need to bring some empanadas to Jay. You need to find this out.
I'll put it this way: I've already compared it now to other empanadas that I've had. And it's really...
That's a big statement.
Yeah, it's really... But being in that building, I mean, we got Sent to Slaughter as your Ace Tag Team Champions, which, by the way, March 14th, I think it's March 14th, ACW is running a show.
Nice.
Up at the Mid-Hudson Civic Center. They have a fatal 4-way for I think it's for the ACW Tag Team belts.
Okay.
Just hear me out for this one for a hot second.
Tell me the players. Who are they?
We got the Now.
Okay.
We have Sent to Slaughter. We have the Righteous. We also have the Hardys.
Hardys? Really?
Yep.
Oh man. What a card.
That's just for the tag titles.
I know, what a card. Righteous and Hardys in there?
Yeah, and then you also have... Well, let me see if I can pull up quickly.
It's crazy.
The other side of it, because even that card itself is like amazing right now. We also have... Come on.
You have Killer Cross, Mike Santana, Richard Holiday.
You also have
triple threat match for the title.
Yeah. You also have a 6-way Carnage a 6-way Cruiserweight Carnage match. Here's just some of the names in here, okay?
Big names.
We have Akeem, the wrestler formerly known as Akeem. We have Anthony Green, Leo Sparrow, GKM, Jordan Oliver, and Liamo, I think his name is Liamo. You also have, like, as you mentioned before, the fatal 4-way for the tag belts, but then you also have triple threat match for the ACW heavyweight title between your ACW heavyweight champion Richard Holliday, your MLW champion Killer Cross, and your TNA champion Mike Santana.
Great main event.
By the way, shout out to Killer Cross on becoming the new MLW heavyweight champion.
Oh, I finally saw it. Finally.
And I will say one thing. We don't normally talk MLW that much on here, but MLW is one company I would definitely keep my eye out on. Especially now it seems like Contra is changing things up a little bit. And Cruel is not going to be there anymore.
Wow.
And then last thing, and then we'll wrap things up here in 1 second. There's a company out by me called Remarkable Wrestling. And they have a show coming up on Saturday, February 21st, right over in Farmingdale, which is not that far away from me. I just want to read you the matches they have. For the Remarkable Championship, Gabriel Sky takes on Tyler Breeze.
Not bad.
For the in tag team action, okay, you have the Rascals taking on Joey Janela and Desmond Cole.
Not bad either.
And then you also have for the Remarkable Tag Team Champions, Melodies from Heaven, which is Brother Greatest. I don't know who his partner is.
I have no idea who these people
are. Against Contra Unit.
Jay does not know.
My point is this, and I say this a lot. You look at independent wrestling, and we just talked about a few of the shows. Obviously, ACW, Remarkable. And how many of those guys did I mention that were former WWE stars?
A lot. Rascals, right?
Yeah.
Cross. Mike Santana was in NXT a little bit. Not signed, but he was on the show.
But here's the thing, though.
Hardys.
You can see them at independent wrestling, and you're not paying an arm and a leg.
I know.
The most you're paying.
It's like I'm happy, but then sad at the same time. I'm happy we could see it, but I'm sad for them because it's like you guys should be on a bigger platform.
Oh, I agree. But how many guys? Okay, but how many guys that are in independent wrestling now do we sit there and say, why aren't they signed to a WWE or an AEW? Case in point, Papa Don. Case in point, Darius Carter from BCW.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Maybe I can't speak for them, but maybe these wrestlers that are in the indies are just happy the way it is. And if lightning strikes, look, I'm going to be honest. Like, for example, you said Greek Papa Don. He's done extra for WWE and all that.
Yeah.
The guy's been all over. Like, if people don't know who Greek Papa Don is, please watch him or Jay's going to hit you in the back of the head because this guy knows how to work. And he's a champion, for God's sakes. Not in one promotion, but in many promotions. So maybe these guys are just comfortable the way it is because let's face it, John, WWE takes a lot of your time. What, 285 days out of 365, something like that to work?
Yeah. I mean, I'll even go
guys don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
I'll go a step further.
I wouldn't want to do it.
I get what you're saying. And if that's your goal, is just do this for the fun of it, then I'm not stopping you.
I think that's everybody's goal, that they want to be happy. You have a hobby, you have a career, and you want to make it the best it is. And these guys are veterans. You named so many veterans when you were lining up the card. And you know what? If it happens to them, it happened. And sometimes it did happen to them. We just don't know about it. But they've been extras. They have dark matches in WWE. So look at Vicious Vicky. She was in the TNA pre-show, for God's sakes. And how long has she been in the Indies? She's been in the Indies for quite some time. And now she's in TNA. So
I'll give you another name. Look at Bear Bronson.
Yeah. And Bear Bronson was champ, for God's sakes. I think, wasn't he the one that destroyed Velveteen Dream and his crew, whatever that is? But anyway, that guy's been around too. He's been a champion. And he has a whole faction with him. Like, he has a faction with him. He's been a champ. He's been around. Can we just say that maybe these guys are just happy the way it is? And if, look, maybe their mentality is if lightning strikes in a bottle, of course I'll take it, right? But if it doesn't, I think they're satisfied with what they do because they love what they do.
Yeah.
How do you wake up, you go to work, and you're wrestling? For Jesus, it's like a playground. It's supposed to be fun, and this is what you do for your career and money? Oh, sign me up, please. And if WWE or TNA calls, I'll take the lightning in the bottle. But in the meantime, doing this is fun. I think sometimes WWE and all these scouting people, they don't scout like they used to when it was 10, 15 years ago. I'm sorry, they don't. All they do is get these college kids right off of UCLA, USC, all these running backs, these shot putters like Oba Femi, etc., etc. And you want to make them into these stars. Meanwhile, you got stars like Vicious Vicky that's been knocking on your door for the last 15 years. And finally, TNA gives her a shot. Should have been WWE. That's just me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. I'll even go a step further. I just think that you look at a lot of these. To me, that's one of my issues. I was like, when they scout these people, you just said it before. They rather go for somebody who was a former track and field star, who then because then better this way, then they can mold them. I think that's the thing we're forgetting here.
And pay them less.
Is then they can mold them into who they want them to be.
Yeah.
Because if you get the guys from the independents, like the Vicious Vickies, like the Darius Carters, like the Papadons, who have been at this for a number of years, they know one way to do it. You have to basically tear them down to basically rebuild them. If that makes sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I just think that the next time we have some indie wrestlers on when they're promoting the shows, and I truly hope we do get it in a matter of a week because there's a lot of great shows you mentioned that are coming up. I think we need to ask them this question. I think we need to ask them, like, hey, do you guys feel that you're missing some sort of element in your playbook that maybe WWE, TNA, or AEW are not looking at correctly? Or maybe they're overlooking? Or maybe, it's something we have to ask them because I think every indie person has a different opinion on it. And I think they'll tell you. But, I think it's just for the pay, John. I think it's not only to mold. I think it's the pay. Like, let's be honest. If it's Vicious Vicky and a track and field star, who deserves more money?
Fortunately, track and field.
You say track and field star that has no experience in.
Hold on.
I'm saying if they're coming into wrestling, I have Vicious Vicky in one contract. This track and field star nobody heard of that you want to mold, like you say. Who should I pay more? It's
Vicky.
A no-brainer. Vicious.
Yeah.
But WWE don't want to do that, right? They want to pay less. They want to mold, like you say. And I truly feel not only mold, but they want to pay people less.
Not only that, because they want to, they want to have it be like, because I remember for a while, if you remember when Hunter was running NXT and they were bringing in the guys from Ring of Honor,
right?
The indie guys, so to speak. It was much.
Your Bobbies, your Kyles, your Adams.
Yeah. Now, when you look at it, they don't want to do that because of the fact of, but here's the funny thing though. But this isn't just WWE though that, I want to throw, I want to bring up with this. There's so many companies out there now. You have Impact Wrestling, you have AEW, you have Ring of Honor, you have New Japan. I mean, go down the list. So there's no reason why, if you're somebody like a Vicious Vicky, like a Papadon, where, okay, WWE may not be pulling you right away, but what about Impact Wrestling?
I agree with you. I think you're onto something.
I'll just go back to Bear Bronson here for a second. Bear Bronson is a staple on Long Island. He was in AEW. Obviously, we know how that fell through.
Horrible.
But he's a staple. He's somebody who's on the independent scene. Basically reinvented himself. And now
do you feel that all these promotions you just named, when they look at indie wrestlers like we just mentioned, do you feel that maybe whoever's doing the scouting just thinks that maybe they're a liability because perhaps their work ring or their age. Do you feel that that plays a part of it too, of who they choose?
Oh, you know, absolutely. It's definitely. I think that definitely plays a role in it. But I think also the people who are scouting it, I think are going based off of, oh, let me see a match, and then they'll look at the match and go, oh, well, that not everybody's. And that's the thing. I think we'll wrap it up with this. You take somebody like Papadon, take somebody like Vicky. Okay, they could have 4 or 5 matches a month. Okay, let's say they work every weekend. Okay, they're not going to have 100% every month with the type of matches they're going to have. They're going to have some matches that, let's be honest, are not going to do well.
Right.
And then when you get these scouts who are looking at these matches, now I don't know verbatim, how it works out like that. I've never really found out that part. But who's to say that the scout isn't looking at a match that may not be so well? And that's why maybe WWE has been hesitant.
Okay.
To bring it up. Do you see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah, I see. So let's say I'm a wrestler. I've been in the indies for about 6, 7 years, and my goal is to get into WWE, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna do whatever it takes, right?
Yeah.
I want to get into WWE. Do you feel that these so-called, certain, I'm not gonna say all indie wrestlers because I do know most of them and they bust their ass, but there are some that I'm a little curious of. Do you feel that certain indie wrestlers don't go all the way even when they have a goal? Because there are different roads, John. I mean, you take an example. I'll give you a perfect example. You take Mariah May. Mariah May was a huge star. You know where? In New Japan. She was a big star there, the stardom, everything. Boom. That's why she came into AEW. That's why they noticed her. Perhaps certain wrestlers, like you always complain about, they don't go on social media. They don't promote themselves. They don't do anything. They don't cut promos and promote themselves the way a Killer Cross would when he got cut.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't go all the way, and they don't. Maybe some of them are scared. They don't want to take the chance and go to Japan and try something different.
You know, it's funny though. That's why I go back to the argument I've said it for a while. When you're an independent wrestler, okay,
Gotta promote yourself.
and you have a podcast radio show, okay, like Busted Open. Us.
Just for example.
Yeah, just mention us right away. But my point is this, though. When you look at, and this has been my issue with a lot of these wrestlers for a while, when you get these wrestlers who nobody has heard of, except for maybe 20, 30 people, and like, oh, I don't want to go promote myself. And I'm sitting there, and I said this before on the show. You're WWE, let's say you could sign a WWE the whole 9 yards. Also, WWE calls you and says, hey, by the way, we're sending you out to Dallas next week as of Wednesday. Again, I don't know if this is true, but you see my point here. Because we want you to do a media tour before SmackDown. You turn around and tell them, oh, I'm good. I don't want to do it. How fast do you think your ass could be back in catering?
Oh, you'll be off TV in a minute.
And I'm not saying that, podcasts don't get you notice. It may not. But at least then you can turn around to these promoters, to a WWE, to an AEW, and say, hey, look. Because I think realistically, I think it's more than just what you see in the ring. I think it's how you present yourself on social media. It's how you present yourself in the eyes of the media. And I think that's part of the thing. That's why I always sit there and say, if you're an independent wrestler, unless okay, I'm going to be in WWE in 2 weeks, there should be no reason why independent wrestlers say, oh, I don't want to do the podcast. I'm good.
I just think that, if I'm an indie wrestler and I'm on a show, and nobody ever heard of Poughkeepsie, New York, I think I'm going to do whatever I take, not only because I'm getting paid, but I would bust my butt to make sure that I'm going to get as much fans, even from my own social media following, to make sure they show up to the show regardless. And I think they don't do that. And you know what? I've seen it a lot, John. I don't know about you, but lately I've been seeing a lot since the beginning of this year. You know, I seen who I know the most do it because I see it every day. But other wrestlers that I follow, John, I'm sorry, it's crickets.
Well,
I don't hear anything until the day of the show.
Why do you think a lot of people enjoy this show? Other than for our sophomore humor. Why do you think a lot of people like this show?
I'm not an OG on the show, so I'm going to take a stab because I came in late. But I am going to say they like their show because you promote it. You put yourself out there. Yeah. You go to these events. I mean, you go. Not only that, I was with you at an event. I met you at the event. We did interviews live on Facebook and everything to get everybody excited. We were promoting for the show. And guess what? You and me weren't even on the show. Yeah. Okay. So that's like a slap to every other person that is on the card, or no matter what you are. You're not doing your job. You're just waiting either the last week or the last 2-3 days to start promoting. You're doing the wrong thing because not a lot of people know you.
I'll put it this way. There's a company we worked with up in Maine. They don't run anymore. And we had them on for their first show. Okay. We had on the promoter. We had on one of the wrestlers. You know what I found out after that interview? Just based off our show alone, they sold an extra 15 tickets. And I'm not saying it's difficult, okay?
It's not.
Just to pull back the curtain here for a second, 90% of the times when I talk to these wrestlers.
That's true, David. And we'll pull up that comment. I always say this about you, John. You work your ass off.
But here's the thing. I'll pull back the curtain here for a second. When I'm messaging these wrestlers, say, hey, you want to come on? We know you have the show coming up.
Yeah.
I always try to tell them this. It's no more than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it. Especially if it's somebody we've had on before. If it's somebody brand new, we'll spend a couple minutes, let them get themselves over.
Mm-hmm.
But most of it is promoting the show.
Exactly.
And I think that's why, a lot of these companies, like Blitzkrieg, like Kaiju Pro Wrestling up in Connecticut, like the Dynasty, like Immortal, like Battleground down in Philly. That's why they love working with us. Or I'll even go a step further. That's why a lot of them know who we are.
Right.
But because I put myself out there. I mean, there's a reason why. But there's a reason why, people laugh at me that I'll drive 5-6 hours for a show because I want to support this. And granted, do I ever see myself get into the ring? No, I don't. I was in the ring once with Gang Gone. We'll leave it at that. But my point is this, though. It's not that difficult.
So then why is it that I'm sure that you hit up certain wrestlers, they tell you no? Even if you say 5 times, why say no then? Why they say no?
That's what I don't get. I don't understand that.
That's the biggest mystery that I don't understand. Listen, we're not paying you, we're not giving you money, but we're giving you airtime. And like you said, John, you sold an extra 15 tickets just for having them on the show.
Yeah, that's all it comes down to.
What's so hard with 5 minutes? Tell us who you are. Tell us what you have, and tell us where the location is. Tell us where to get tickets, and go about your business.
Yeah, and then you turn around, and you're gonna sit there and I guess this is my big issue though, is a lot of these wrestlers. I'm not gonna say they feel very high and mighty about themselves, because there are some who always say yes. There are some who always will say yes to coming on.
And there's some that are busy and have multiple jobs, so I can't blame them.
Oh, that I understand. I get that. Life comes first. I get it. But if you're sitting there on your couch, and I'll leave it with this, twiddling your thumbs or have your thumb up your you-know-what, and you're like, oh, I'm on a show in a week, in Sheboygan, Iowa. Well, our tickets, oh, we've sold 3 tickets. am I really going to want to be I mean, you want to, and again, I'm not speaking as an independent wrestler, but, I would think that if you're a wrestler, you want every show that you're at to be a sellout.
And second of all, just to add to that, we're in Generation Alpha, folks. Do you know what Generation Alpha does all day, every day? They're on their phones. So, yes, you need to promote the show because these people are on their phones. They like to see content of matches. Why is it so hard for a wrestler to just put up one of their old matches on and be like, this is what this person is going to get if you tune in Saturday, March 17th? Yeah. What's so hard with that? It takes literally 2 minutes out of your time, no matter how busy your schedule is, because we all understand we're busy too. We got lives. We got family. John, shout out to your dad. What's up, buddy? But we got all these things going. But you on social media, John, I bet you're promoting the show right here.
Yeah.
Because it's working, right?
I'm promoting anytime I can promote a show, I can.
Exactly. And how long does it take you to do it? How many minutes?
Not even 5 minutes.
Be honest. If you were to post something on IG, a picture or whatever, with some words, how long would that take you?
2 minutes, maybe.
Exactly. 2 minutes out of your time. I don't understand it. I don't want to hear excuses from people.
You want your laugh? Most of the time when I'm promoting stuff, you know what I'm doing?
Working? Driving?
No. I'm in the bathroom.
That was very graphic. Thank you for painting that image to me. I did not think I would end the show in the next 3-4 minutes with you in the bathroom promoting. But now we know that anytime John does promoting, folks, it's in the bathroom.
My point is this. It's called multitasking, people. But my point is this, though. When you look at... Oh, wait a...
What happened? You look like
came out.
You look like you saw a bombshell.
Oh. February 24th, which I guess would be the end of the month. When they're in Atlanta, JC Dream has a title match against Sol Ruka.
Oh, I was going to say Kendall Gray, but it's okay.
But it's funny, though. With how they're showing the end of NXT right now, I have a feeling Zara is going to turn.
John, I've been waiting for that for the last 2 years for that payoff. It's been waiting 2 years for that.
But
I'm still waiting.
We're going to get out of here now because, like I said, we covered a lot tonight.
Covered a lot of indie stuff. So shout out to all the indie wrestlers on the show that we named. We hope to have you on the show because we have a lot of questions for you what we just covered for the last 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Please. Guys, if you missed any of tonight's show, definitely go back and watch it on YouTube. Like I said, we will be back on Facebook probably by next week, more than likely.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I want to give a shout out to everybody who helped behind the scenes. Definitely want to give a shout out to Kevin for that phenomenal intro.
I missed it.
But for Jay, I'm John. This has been the Around the Ropes radio show. We'll be back here live next Tuesday. You catch us live here every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. See you guys next week.
We love you, David.